The Nintendo haters are out in full force, with a slew of misinformation and cherry picking and bending the truth just to make Nintendo seem a lot worse is aggressive, it's overreacting, and it's annoying, and we're gonna get into it. And the first thing is the pricing. This is the front page. This is like what everybody's gonna see first and what everybody bitches about first. Up, on every goddamn post, drop the price. Here's the thing. Let's start with the console price. $450 to $500. $500 if you get the bundle with Mario Kart World, which I don't know why you would not get the bundle. It's kind of a no-brainer there to get a game with your console that is more expensive if you don't get it with the console. But I digress. Here's the thing. The PS5 released at $500 5 years ago. And while yes, this Switch 2 is not as powerful as the PS5, it's also much more portable than a PS5. The fact that they were able to put as much power as a PS4 Pro, and actually a little more power than PS4 Pro in some aspects, into something that could fit in a male's pocket, not female pocket, because you know how those pockets are. It's like I'm a stand-up comedian at a bar that I got paid $20 for. The fact that that much power is in something so small and could play games the way it can is a marvel of technology. But being able to put that much power into something so small takes money, it takes ingenuity, and especially with the added technology of the Joy-Cons, things that is a little more advanced than the standard PlayStation 5 controller or Series X controller. And yes, I like the PlayStation 5. I have my PlayStation 5. I enjoy both Nintendo and Sony systems. Like, this is how I do it. And I play on PC. So I'm going to preface all this with, I play multiple consoles. I don't only own Nintendo consoles. But if you ever try to defend Nintendo, you're a bootlicker and you're just a Nintendo fanboy and you're just trying to protect Nintendo at all costs. Which, yes, I do. I am what you would say a fanboy, but I am not delusional, is what it comes down to. So the fact that we could make such a powerful system in such a small bit of technology is amazing. And it's a hybrid console. You can play on your TV very effectively, amazingly, and just as effectively take it out of the dock and go somewhere with it. That is amazing technology. It is great. And yes, people argue about the Steam Deck being the same way. The Steam Deck is not the same. There is things that are not as good about it as is the Switch 2. Like, it's clunky. Just because you could run Linux on it, and you could be an asshole piece of shit pirate on it. Old game emulation that's not in circulation is fine. But playing games are emulating games, not from your own thing, but downloading ROMs of games that are still in circulation is a piece of shit thing to do. Piracy is not okay. I don't care. So you can't really compare the Steam Deck to the Switch 2. It is thinner. It is more concise. It is more. It functions more smoothly. Even though, yes, a Steam Deck is a little more open source because there's Linux on it, because the PC bros love Linux. Talking about jacking something off, talking about Nintendo fanboys, but people who bend over backwards for Linux, constantly jerking it off at every moment that they can. Like the hypocrisy, the hypocrisy with Linux users or people who play the Steam Deck is like, well, just get a Steam Deck instead. Just get a Steam Deck instead on every post. Like, are you not doing the same thing as Nintendo fanboys? But even worse because you're going in somebody else's space. That's like the stories you hear about vegans going into a restaurant, kicking down the doors and be like, "Stop selling meat" or whatever. Like, that's the same vibe. Like, don't do that. Don't go into somebody else's space and tell them, "Hey, don't do the thing that you're doing." Like, just don't do that. Like, if you are invested in Nintendo, and you want to have discussions about it, do it. But don't just be somebody who has a different thing and be like, my thing's better than your thing. Stop, and I don't like your thing, so stop doing your thing. That's just asinine. Get the fuck out. Just go away. No one wants you. So there's the price part. But now the pricing of the games. Let's talk about that a little bit. The pricing of Mario Kart World is $80. Now, people keep on saying that is $80 and then $90 physical. That's not true, at least in the United States and most of the world. That is not a true statement. You could go on the website and it will say $80 RSVP, or whatever the fuck the letters are. A $90 physical copy does not exist in America, and also in a lot of places in the world. The only reason why I am saying all that is because apparently it says that in the UK, but I haven't seen any images of that either. No one's proven me wrong. As far as I see it, it's $80 or $50 if you get the bundle. So there's the misinformation there. And then not every game is going to be $80. And people are mad that Nintendo's talking about dynamic pricing, as if that's an issue. Hasn't dynamic pricing always been a thing? Like, indie developers will sell their games anywhere from free, usually with microtransactions, but sometimes not. And sometimes people just like make a game for fun, and they're like, we're gonna release it for free, and that's their prerogative. They could do that, all the way up to full price games. Also, that happens a lot with AAA titles. Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy was $40. I would have paid $60 for it. I would have paid full price, but they decided this deserves to be $40 with how much we put into it. Even though we put a lot into it, I feel like this is $40. So why the fuck are we mad at Nintendo for saying the exact same thing? Of like, hey, this is pricing is gonna be dependent on how much we value the game and how much development that we went into and how much work we put into. We're gonna price it dynamically based off that. We've been doing this forever. Like, since the dawn of gaming, we've been doing this. But no. But now Nintendo's the bad guy because you know they're mad about the $80, and like why would they give them any slack on anything? Like, let's just find any reason to hate. Let's. I'm getting flustered. Doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. So dynamic pricing is great. I don't get the hate for it. Things are getting more expensive. That's just how the world's working. So it's delusional to think that gaming isn't going to get more expensive along with everything else. I don't want to spend more money, by the way. I just don't. I would rather pay less for more. I would rather have my dollar go farther than it does now. But I live in reality. I don't live in this utopia of, everything being much cheaper and everything being affordable 100% of the time, and the luxuries, because gaming is a luxury, being always in my reach 100% of the time. Prices go up, inflation happens, and yes, even though people don't make more depending on inflation, that is not the company's fault. That is not Nintendo's fault that we are not making more money. They are also making less money, and they are a business. They have very great developers who care about their product, but they are still a business who needs to make money, and the more inflation happens and more things around the world happen, they're gonna have to up the price. That's just how it works. Now, again, I don't want to pay $80 for a game, but if it's a game that I'm really interested in and I want it now, I will get it for $80. And then if not, I will wait until I have a surplus of money or until a deal happens. And with Nintendo, that usually doesn't happen, but you know what I mean. There's been games that I put off, but then it's on PlayStation Plus. And I'm like, well, I put it off, but now it's on PlayStation Plus. And I have the higher tier. So, like, I get a few more games. And it's like, well, now, I'm paying the service fee, but now I can play this game that I didn't want to spend the extra $60, $70 on. So, yeah, let's check it out. That's just how you're going to do things. So same thing in this situation. This is not a new situation. It's just inflation's taken gaming too, because everything's getting more expensive. And talk about games from Nintendo. People talk about misinformation with games of Nintendo. People are thinking, because Nintendo talked about like the e-cards or whatever it's called, where it's a game card could have a digital code connected to it, where then you would download the entire game or parts of the game, and people are twisting that into being every single Nintendo game is going to be digital and nothing's going to be on the card, which is wrong. The only, from the top of my brain, the only thing that has been announced this entire time that's going to be using that is Street Fighter 6, because they can't optimize it for the 32 gigabyte card. They're going to make it downloadable, but still connected to the card, which I think totally fine. And again, most games are not going to have this. If you want third-party support for companies that cannot optimize the games to the point where they could fit on the card, this is how we're going to do it. It's just like getting a digital card, a digital code, but instead of a code, it's on the card, and you can put it fucker in. So you still have physical media in the way, and you can still put it on your shelf if you care, if you give a shit. It's just a physical version of a digital code. You know, a thing that we've already had, but made in a cooler way. And again, 99% of the games are not going to have this. Especially Nintendo games. Nintendo games are going to be 100% physical. I download all my stuff. I do have, some physical Switch games, but most of the things I do is downloadable. So this doesn't affect me. But it doesn't affect you either. Especially if you play Nintendo games. Most games are not going to have this digital e-card, downloadable, whatever. It's just not a thing. It's there for the games that can't be on the card, or the developers want you to download instead of putting it on the card. And also, the thing that's been going around is the thing that's kind of inspired me to finally make this video is the thing that Doug Bowser said about supporting the Switch 1. People are misconstruing this as what Xbox said. He's like, oh, you can't afford the Switch 2? Well, just fucking stick with your Switch 1, you poor bastards. That's how people are taking it. And that's essentially what people are saying that he said. And no, it's not what he said. It's much nicer than that. It's in a much more positive way, because that's what it is. And it's not, I'm not talking about like just fluff positive. Like, what he said was that, don't you worry if you can't get the Switch 2 at the moment. We will still be supporting the Switch 1 through the beginning of the Switch 2's life. So don't worry if you can't get the next system right now. We are still supporting the Switch 1. Meaning, they're still going to put stuff out for it. They're still going to give you updates. But they're also going to support the Switch 2 and Switch 2 exclusive stuff as well. So they're not just sitting there calling you poor and like, go fuck yourself. You can just play your Switch 1 if you really don't want the Switch 2. They're just saying that they're going to continue support for the Switch 1 for the people who can't get the Switch 2 right away. There's just no issue with that. And they shouldn't have to do that for long, because they should support their next console. So I get supporting it for the transition, but they shouldn't support it through the entire life of the next console. Have a nice transition, support it, and then slowly back out so that you can focus on the next iteration. Eventually, if you want to get new things, you're gonna have to get the new thing that is able to play the new things that you want. I'm sorry that fucking Mortal Kombat 1 can't run on your N64. Sorry. If you want new things, you gotta get the new thing. People complain about the Switch 1 not being powerful enough, and then when they give you the more powerful Switch, the Switch 2, with even more stuff and more power, now people are like, well, the Switch 1, well, I don't want to pay this money. I don't want to get the new thing. I just want to get it for free. So the Switch 1 is good enough. Because for some reason, gamers are entitled. Gamers want things for cheap or for next to nothing, which goes to my next point on the upgrades. The upgrades to like games like Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom and games like that costing money Are we forgetting that that happened with the PlayStation 5 and the Series X? Are we forgetting that? Yes, games that have a dual release on those systems didn't have you pay because they got made and optimized at the same time for each console. But if it was originally made on the PS4 and then the PS5 comes out, they had to put more work in to make it work on the PS5 post launch of the game, so they made you pay $10 because, funny enough, it's not a fucking toggle that you put on. You assholes don't understand how programming works. You can't just flip a switch and have it be 4K. Like, development time needs to be put into these kind of things. So paying the extra $10 for the extra development time that they had to do to, up it to the next system makes sense. And not only that, where PlayStation only did better performance, Nintendo's giving you like extra mechanics. They're giving you extra gameplay. In some cases, like the Kirby game, Forgotten Lands or whatever, like that shit's DLC. They're just basically giving you DLC plus better performance, and like you're like, well, that we should get that for free anyway. Why do we have to pay for the game we already have? Because you're getting more. You're getting something better. You're getting time has been put into this, and you have to pay for somebody else's time. I don't know why you expect free shit. That's what I'm saying. I don't know why you expect free shit when work gets put into something. You pay for the work that went into it. That's kind of just been how things work since the dawn of trading things. And if you have NSO, and if you're a Nintendo fan, you probably have NSO, the Nintendo Switch Online. It's fucking free anyway. Like, yeah, no, it's not free, because it's, you're already paying for the service, but you are already paying for the service, meaning you are now getting even more for the service. It's not that you're paying a subscription fee for the upgrade. You're paying a subscription fee that comes with upgrades for your games. Not only the DLC for your games, but every game that could have been $10 to $20 upgrades are now free for you. And you get all the retro games now with GameCube and online play, which, giving them money gives them, a way to get better servers. And the Switch 2 hopefully giving you games that have better servers. It seems like this hate is forced. This hate is unwarranted, it's forced, and it's aggravating. Yes, it's not perfect. I don't want to have to pay more for games, and only specific games, but I don't want to have to pay more, but it's a thing that happens. But they're doing everything in their power to tell you, hey, these are all the good things about it, and all people are doing is making those good things and then twisting them to be bad with either with misinformation, cherry picking information, and again, just forcing the hate. They're mad at a $10 increase in a few games made by Nintendo. So now, just like how a lot of things happen, people are finding ways to hate it, calling it the next Wii U. Which, by the way, we all like the fact that everybody knows that it is a new console already makes it not the Wii U. Literally everybody knows it's a new console. The Switch 2, it's a sequel. We know. The advertisement is clear. It's a new system from the ground up. Hate is forced. That's what I'm saying. The hate is forced, and I'm gonna get it as soon as I can. I'm buying a Switch 2. And also, don't listen to all the assholes on the internet shitting on Nintendo and making videos about how you shouldn't buy the Switch 2 because it's a bad precedent for the rest of gaming. Because I'm a fucking idiot. Like, don't listen to those people. Buy what you want, but don't buy what you don't want. But don't be delusional and play Mario Kart World. Oh, and also I'm getting both Sonic Cross Worlds and Mario Kart World and Kirby Air Ride. I got 3 fucking cakes. I'm gonna eat them. Damn it.